Hello everyone, Estel here, and today I'm going to do a guide on the Fires of Hell dungeon. I am on probably one of my oldest characters in this server, Marcella. She is a mage necromancer, and we are going to take a quick rundown of this dungeon. There are 3 floors, and a lot of, as you might imagine, you need a lot of fire resistance here. The main floor, the first floor has this big crater and surrounded by lava, and a lot of small enemies that are a really good place for you to get started on testing your character. You will need fire res here, and there are only a few things that you should care about. Mainly, if you go all the way up to the right, there is a big demon in here guarding a few chests. That might be tricky if you are a weaker character. Not for Masala though, she is very strong. I have protection to prevent my spells from failing. Oh, got a chest. And an orb of trap removal, which is how mages get over traps. Lock a chest and something, and a trapped chest. This character has a lot of luck and the magic untrap spell, which gives me a good chance to survive this. Here you should also be careful with the fire sticks, they have a lot of health, but they are a really good source of both sulfurous ash and rubies, which you can make good money on. The Ifrits cast some spells, they can be somewhat dangerous if you are new. It shouldn't be too much trouble. And this is a regular human NPC that will drop you some scrolls and reagents. The Flame Magician and the Fire Demon, which is much weaker than the one we faced before. But it's still something that you should watch out for. I am in Wraith Farm here, which is why she looks like this. Wraith Farm gives me mana every time I hit something, which makes me have pretty much infinite mana to cast my Wither, which is how I am dealing damage to these mobs. It does an area of effect attack around me. If you're coming this way up to the stairs, there's going to be a boss NPC down. It can have a variety of skins on it, but it's usually a slightly bigger demon. Here we see Enduriel from Diablo. But let's take her down and see what happens. We got a necklace. I'm not going to take loot here because she's very strong and doesn't need many things. I'm just checking the chests because I might get some decoration out of it and I need it for her new house. So going to the second floor, you will get to one of the more regular dungeon types, a bunch of rooms separated by long hallways. Let's quickly go through them. I could just go invis and ignore all these mobs, but she has so much regeneration from her gear that probably doesn't matter much. Let's pull a few more. Unlock a chest. As you can see, this place is great to farm rubies and reagents. There are lots of spellcasters here, so you get your magic resist up as well. Let's increase the map size. Ashen gargoyles can do some nasty hits. in this room to the far left side, there's a chest that you can steal, and another demon that you have to kill. Let's see what he gets for us. Royal cloak, something. She doesn't have stealing, so I'm going to leave that. The Wraith farm makes it slightly harder to figure out where she actually is, so I do a lot of misclicking with this character. A lot of those rooms have two monsters in them, which does step up in difficulty from the previous ones. It shouldn't be too bad. You can always try to kite them and set up a quick macro for getting the nearest hostile. Let's go. We are well on our way to the third floor now. Here, when we get to the stone part of the hallway, we will get a lot more elementals, but nothing to worry too much about. As I mentioned before, the only thing that you need to succeed here on the first two floors is a good amount of fire resistance. So if you get lucky with your gear, you can come here pretty early. It's slightly harder than the ancient pyramids because you get two mobs at once at times, and there are a few monsters that are much stronger than the mummies that you get there. But it's still very a normal dungeon. I have guarding skills here that help me when I'm facing multiple opponents. So this character is full cheesiness. It completely bypasses a lot of mechanics, especially on those early dungeons. The lava snakes tend to have a lot of health, but if you have a good physical hitting attack, then you can probably take care of them easily. There are a few dragons that spawn here, so if you're farming ladder, it's also a good place to be. Let's take this. Oh, we got the decoration. Candelabra of Souls. Thank you very much. Let's check this chest. Nothing. So there's always going to be a dragon in this corner here that you can skin for the hides if you have a crafter. Let's loop around now. Fire elementals, fire horse. You can tame those, they require a lot of taming, but they're very good mounts because you can actually use them to fight if you're in the dungeon. You just need to unmount before entering. Come on. Another chest, more elementals. A mage. And here we have a special monster, a fire scaled ray. Let's kill him quickly. And let me show you what he drops. He drops a fire scale tooth, which is something that NPCs will ask on occasion for in their quests to exchange for an artifact. So remember to always get it if you kill him, even if you don't need it right now, you might need it later. Let's go all the way up. I get me stuck in the rain. A team up. Let's take it down. I have the chain lightning that does a ridiculous amount of damage, but I'm usually just casting Wither because it's a lot faster. Just remember, if you are, when you are playing, if you don't have a fully geared character, you're much slower than I am to handle, because you can be overwhelmed by monsters here. And here we have a nightmare, which is also another mount that you can have, and a really good tame. It does require a lot of skill, but it can cast spells, which most regular horses obviously cannot. And a Dragu, which is a stronger dragon. As see here, it poisoned me and gave me a whole lot of damage. So let's have our vengeance. The monsters in here also have a lot of fire resistance. So I have a lot of fire spells on this character. I am just not going to use them because they're not going to do anything in here. Let me heal up. And this should do it. Dragons always love to drop million gems. I cannot reach that. See, it's very hard to figure out where your character is in raid farm. And I ran out of my untrap, so I got poisoned. It could have been a lot worse. I have a lot of Magic and Necromancy together give you a lot of different options to deal with this. If I am running low on mana on higher end stuff, I will use the Wisp familiar that gives me more regen, but in here shouldn't be too much of an issue. These random portals can spawn on every dungeon. They will take you to somewhere very far away, so it's good to keep in mind where they are in case you need to do a tactical retreat and you don't think you have time to do to cast a recall. Otherwise, they are best avoided. An Elder Gazer can be dangerous because of the spell casting, but he always drops a lot of reagents. They're great to have in a mage. I mean, not always apparently. It's good karma, good XP, and a strong monster that you should be wary of. In the corner here we have another demon. Let's see if we get the chest from it. could be trying to cast magic unlock on this because this dungeon is not particularly high level, but it's a lot of work. And I most definitely don't have the space to fit lockpicking on this build. And here we have a named demon. As I mentioned before, this character is very silly. It just pieces everything and they sit there taking damage. So 3 chain lightning should do the trick. For apparently. Nothing, but we get a treasure heart. I swear to you, I'm very close to this. Oh, it's locked. Get me my journal back. Let's see what we pull from this treasure. Reorganize. A very low end potion, some scrolls. Yeah, we got nothing too fancy. But anyway, let's take a look here. There's a special door that takes you to a tomb of one of the many random things that exist in this game. This is a tomb of the Tomb of Malak. If you know your Star Wars, you know that this is one of the Sith Lords from the Old Republic, a friend of Revan, you could say. You can become a Sith or a Jedi in this game. It's something I completely ignore because I think it's very silly. There's a little bit of a backstory on them. You need to find a datachrome, which is like a book item that tells you a story, and then find a Jedi or a Sith roaming around and get their secrets done. It's a little quest, and you get like a bunch of different spells that are themed around using the Force, which I will never do because I think that that's very stupid. We've got poison. There's this boss here. It's an ancient weird, which is a lot. It's a very strong dragon. Let's get rid of the nightmare. Let's heal up, please. Being a boss, it breaks pacing very quickly. So even if you are a highly trained bard with power scrolls up your ass, it can still give you some trouble. But he has a high weight, it can drop a lot of stuff. It just didn't this time. It happens. Oh, hold on. A little skull. Let's take it. And I think that that's it for this dungeon, for most of it. It will take you longer to clear it if you are on a weaker character, but the reasons to come here is if you are looking to be a Sith, you come to this tomb after you have your holocron, after you found your body. And mob density is good, there's a lot of skills to be gained here, especially your magic resistance. And it's great for tamers because of all the horses. Then there's a lot of demons here that drop you chests that you can both use as decoration and that can give you a lot of items. Let's see, I don't remember if we found those 2 chests here, but let's open this one. We got our obligatory potion of gender change, some minor currency, book of monk abilities, which is something else that you have to work your way to unlock, and some minor magic items. And in this skeleton, we got a fancy candelabra, I'll take it, thank you, or agapite ore, which you can use to craft, a book that teaches you about fishes and boats, and not much else. Well, anyway, that's going to be it for today, I think. There might be a few rooms that I missed, but I'm sure that there isn't any important content that I missed. Let me quickly dispose of those mobs. I will be playing this dungeon on my Let's Play series soon, so you can see the perspective you can see it through the perspective of a newish character. Until then, I hope you are having a great time. Bye bye.